everybody, this is Tori from Tori's Craft. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize to each and every one of y'all. I am very, get my pen here. I am very sorry that I took that absent. It's been crazy. So the first thing I want to sit here and say, there is going to be a big disclaimer right here, right now. I will be talking about some tough topics, one of which is mental health. If you do not want to listen to mental health issues, especially depression issues, you're more than free to just click off this video now. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. And also, no negative comments will be allowed on this video. If I see any negative comments whatsoever, they will be deleted. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I have dealt with depression for a very, very long time. I say very long time because I can remember being in the second grade and getting bullied. Now, however, this kind of ties in the Black Lives Matter movement that's going on now. I will say, after my experience when I was getting bullied, it hasn't changed my opinion or how I have been raised by my mom. Just to get you guys an idea of what's going on when I was in the second grade, I was actually at this school for my second and third grade year. I went to a school in Midwest City, Oklahoma that was, as I consider it, all black. It was a black school. There were about, I want to say, 4 students, including myself, that were white. 2 white teachers in this class, in this building. Now, beforehand, I never really cared. I'm like, okay, your skin color is different than mine. Whatever, who cares? That's basically how I've been pretty much raised. Not to judge a person by their skin color, not to even care if their skin color is different than mine. So when I went to this school, I never really cared, to be honest. I never sought out to be mean to anybody. I always sought out to be friendly. It's what, I always done in all my schools. But for whatever reasons, I got bullied. And I was bullied really bad at this school. Now, considering where everything went, I could have possibly turned out differently than I am now. I hate to say it, but I could have been racist. But I ain't. I ain't racist. I'm not going to be that type of person. I care too much about people in general that I don't want to be racist to anybody. So, plus, I wasn't just bullied by the black population. I was bullied by my own white population too. So, to me, it was basically an entire school against me. That so happened to be, different colors. And again, I really don't care what your skin color is. You're beautiful inside and out, and you deserve respect no matter what. So, I mean, it never really bothered me anyway, but I mean, how I was treated at that school, it sent me in a depression spiral. It really did. I was even bullied by my own teacher as well. My own teachers that was teaching me. My second grade teacher actually made me cry in the class and then went on to say, Boo-hoo, Tori. She's crying. Everybody look at her. Everybody laugh at her. It was horrible. And then my third grade teacher, she would sit there and say, why aren't you better? You're so stupid. And she literally called me stupid. And then everybody picked on me because the teachers were picking on me too. And it just made it harder for me to comprehend what was going on. And by fourth grade, we were in a new school district. And I went to McLeod. And I thought, okay, everything's going to be okay. I'm not going to get bullied. I'm not going to have any issues making friends. I was still bullied. This time, not only did the blacks bully me, the whites bullied me, but Indians bullied me. And you guys might be saying, why are you saying racist? Oh, not right. Yeah. Why are you calling out racist? Why are you saying blacks, whites, Indians, and all this? I want you guys to think. The one thing that's going on right now is the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay? I get why the blacks are angry. I get why they're upset as well. I get it. I'm not going to be one of those stupid people saying, well, all lives matter. Not just your life. All lives matter. No. Heck to the no. The reason why I'm saying racist the way I am is because I think we've forgotten something. We've forgotten a lot of our history as well. Slavery, and this is something, my mom and I also talked about too. Slavery ended, I believe, 400 years ago. The blacks are still treated the way they were back then, if not a little bit better, because now, slavery's ended and all that. But here's the kicker. This is something Mom and I talked about, where whites can go and trace back their line of families and go all the way back to the first settlers to America. The blacks can't. And this kind of pissed me off when I learned this. I'm like, well, some of them can, because some of the whites, impregnated the blacks. But of course, it was during slavery time, so technically that was rape and not really good. And some people might not keep records like that. But back in the day, they never kept any records on where they came from. So we don't know for sure if y'all came from Africa or another part of the world, or if you guys were actually rounded up and put on a ship and sailed here, or bought from your countries. That's what pissed me off. I'm so mad about that. And I'm really looking at my mom. I'm like, how can we be so careless about all of this? We should have kept records. We should have done better. And I even told her, no disrespect, but as children, the children's, the next generation should have made a difference. We should be better than our parents or our grandparents or our family in general. We need to come together, really. I mean, even with COVID-19 going on, we still need to come together. One, I want to stop bullying for sure, because bullying is a stupid thing ever done. It's basically people jealous of other people, or they think they're better, whatever. And then you have the racists going on, people being racist to each other. That needs to stop because that's pretty much hate talk. Now it's going around Facebook, where Mom and I have seen two little posts, where it's kind of racist towards whites. And it's like, this hatred needs to stop. And granted, I'm white. You guys can see, I'm white. Okay. I don't care what skin color I am. I have I have 3 brothers. One's an Indian. One is probably either full or half black. And then another one is a quarter black. So why have hatred towards the color of skin? Why does the skin matter? Why not what's in our hearts? Why not us as people giving back to the community, standing up for each other? That's what I'm basically wondering. Instead of tearing down each individual to the lowest points, why can we not have some decency? Now, I know the Black Lives Matter movement started because of a gentleman basically being suffocated because of a stupid cop putting his knee on the neck. Mom and I are furious about that. Don't get me wrong. We're furious about that too. We saw that and it's like, what's the, why didn't anybody stop it? I mean, there was a lot of people who were recording it and saying to, get off of him. And there were 3 other officers there. One of them was holding back the crowd. The officer having his knee on the poor guy's neck. And then 2 officers just looking onward. Why didn't one of them step up, push that officer off of the neck so the gentleman can breathe and still be alive today? Where's their actions? Now, granted, we've kind of been following this story here. Mom and I, we talk about it constantly. Just, spouting our opinions towards it. And we've been reading the reports on what's going on with the officers and their judgments and stuff like that. And I saw the officer who had his knee on his neck get the 2nd degree murder. It went up from the 3rd degree to the 2nd degree. I'm like, that's not fair. That should be 1st degree murder right there. Not 2nd, 3rd, whatever. 1st degree. He needs to go to jail in a tiny little prison, basically off to himself. No interactions with anybody else. So like an isolation chamber is where he needs to go. That's how I feel. Now the other 3 should get 2nd degree and what's that other one where they helped out with the murder? I don't know. I can't think of that word. But they should get that and also be isolated from everybody else. No letters from home, no keepsakes, nothing. And then the other thing that my mom and I have talked about is that we need an audit system where people go in and audit the police officers. so that way they can get their federal fundings. Not, not stop the fundings to them, but actually have an audit system set up to where it's fair and equal, and they go over every single officer in the offices. They audit everybody. If there is a complaint on an officer, they pull the officer aside. They investigate it to the fullest degree. Either decide to re-educate the officer or take the officer off of the force. We need something like that in place to keep our government basically in check. And I'm talking about government, period. And it doesn't need to just be the police officers. It needs to probably be firemen, first responders, presidents, senates, whoever. The highest degree that we can go. It needs to be done for everybody. Just so this way we can keep everything simple for everybody. We get the bad people off of, the police force or anything like that. If they are, even racist, get them off. Because they're not going to help anybody if their skin color is something that they don't agree with. I'm sorry. I know I was going to talk about depression, but my mind is just going 90 to nothing right now, and this is one of the topics that's been on my mind for a very long time. Oh, actually, ever since I found out about it, which seems a very long time. I hate how the black community has been treated up until this point. And I say up to this point because now they're fighting back. And I cheer them on. But then again, the things I've seen on Facebook, one of the things I've seen, it said, violence against white women is okay. No educations for white folks. They're going to take down the government or take over the government and completely take, 100% just the black community is going to be running the government. I don't particularly agree with this one. The reason why is because I like the fact that different races can be in there. So different viewpoints, like an Asian, a Mexican, a white, a black, different cultures. I like that fact with the government wise, just because you have different opinions. You have people who will agree or disagree. They're not going to be agreeing on everything. And I think, I know in the black community, you guys don't agree on everything. In the white community, we don't agree on everything. I know that, okay? But I like I can't really think of the words, what I want to say. Dang it. I like the mix, okay? That's the only thing that I'm like, no. But, I'm pissed off about the whole violence against a white lady is okay. The no education for whites is okay. I hate that. And then there was, being racist to whites was okay. I understand that for centuries, okay, that us white people and the black people have been in a kind of a constant battle between each other. But I'm going to sit here and say, don't default every single white person. I don't default every single black person to be as cruel and hurtful as the people I dealt with for 2 years in my second and third grade year of school. I don't sit there and say every single black person is going to treat me the way I was treated. And I don't want somebody to sit there and treat me that again. I don't like reading these things on Facebook where it's racist against certain colors. Where is the love? For God's sake, where is the love that we all have in our hearts? I understand that sooner or later this movement was going to happen. I am now scared for my brothers, myself, and my mom because of all this hatred that's coming up. Now, there is some good things that I do agree upon. I've seen the peaceful side of this protest, and it's beautiful. I've seen the black community talking with the cops in a peaceful manner, and I love that. The riots, however, you're not getting anywhere with riots. Why go and destroy a building? Why go and have property damage done, looting things? And I've seen pictures of both races looting. This just gets to me, and it makes me scared. And I'm thinking, I'm going through this depression as well, just because of what one person did to me 10 years ago. And I'm going through it. And I'm holding my head high. And then you have riots going, and you have a lot of different... I'm sorry. You just have a lot of different things that's going on. And it's like, why? There's some times where I think that this problem should have been fixed a long time ago. I feel for each and every one of you who are black. I love you guys. I care about y'all. I will never be racist to you guys. And I'm sorry for what my ancestors did to you. It's not right. I wish I could make it all go away sometimes. But I look at my brothers and I'm like, I don't want them to be afraid of being who they are. One of my brothers, who's a quarter black, people say, oh, is he Mexican? And it's like, no. He sits there and looks at his skin and says, it's orange or yellow. He doesn't care. But on the outside, he's tan. You guys want to know he was a quarter. And I'm afraid of the bad people in this. That's what I'm really afraid of, is the bad people. I don't want things to go bad. But at the same time, I'm like, please don't scare me more than I am. My mom is scared enough where she's commenting that she's going to get a gun to protect us. And she hates guns because of the same man that hurt me 10 years ago pulled a gun on her when I was an infant in her arms. He pulled a gun on her and was going to shoot her. Thank goodness she had gotten the bullets and the gun wasn't loaded. Otherwise, I would be without a mom and I would be living with this man. This man is my dad. And I hate him. I hate my dad. He is the worst part of my life. He's the one that I am more afraid of than anything else. He hurt me very badly. He tried to turn me against my mom several times. And he's also tried to teach me to be racist towards blacks. He doesn't like you guys. I love y'all. I have nothing against y'all. Now, I will say this. The people who bullied me when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, yes, I have an issue with you guys. But as an adult now, I would rather talk to you guys about it than sit there and say negative things about you. I don't know who you guys are anymore. I can't remember you guys anymore. I just remember the skin tones, and that's it. I don't remember names. I don't remember faces. But as an adult, I will talk to you guys about this. I won't sit there and be racist to you guys because of what you've done to me. Not even the community itself. My dad is a horrible person. He is the one that kept teaching me that it was okay to hate a certain color. That it was fine. That it was in our rights to do so. And I constantly looked at him and I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying this to me? Why are you trying to teach me this? And his response was, if they done something bad to you, do something bad to them. It's like, I can't believe you're teaching me this negative, this hatred. I'm about peace and love and cheering on the people instead of pulling them down under. And that's what my dad did to me. This is a hard topic for me. Something I really just don't feel like talking about, but you guys need to understand some parts of myself. I was 10 years ago engaged to be married. It was supposed to happen in 2011. I think May of 2011 is when we were supposed to get married. In May of 2010, shortly after proposing to me, my fiance at the time made me choose between my family. Him and my family is what he said. He wanted me to move up to the city in Oklahoma and live with him. Where I was currently at, if you looked it up on a map, you can draw a triangle with me pretty much smack dab in the middle of my aunt, my grandfather, and my mom. The three most important people in my life at that time, minus my dad and his side of the family. And I couldn't choose. I didn't want to move away from my grandfather and my aunt and my mama. I didn't want to do that. So I told him, not to make me choose. I don't want to choose right now. I can't do it. Plus, I'm about to start my new job the following night. Be right back. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My dog, Maya, was getting in the cat food, so I had to get her out of it. But anywho, so my ex-fiance pretty much was making me choose. I chose my family, not knowing what was next going to happen to me. The next thing that happened was my stepmom and dad were talking about it. My heart was still broken because I did love this guy. I did cherish him. I still do love him, but no, not nowadays. He's gotten a little bit ugly. But anywho, or my taste has kind of changed. I don't know. But so they were talking about it. My stepmom told him, that he broke my heart. I woke her up. She was kind of mad about me waking her up. And I couldn't help it because I needed somebody to talk to about it. And the next words out of my dad's mouth are unrepeatable. Basically meaning if you have kids around you, I don't want to repeat them. You can think of the worst, lowest of low is basically what he called me and made me feel. You can think of the B word. You can think about everything that you would find your man or your lady cheating on you, and whatever words you would call them. He pretty much, he broke me that day. Let's put it that way. He broke me so badly that now, almost every year during May, I have major breakdowns. I cry a lot. I'm not in a good mood to be around anybody. I'm constantly trying to get it out of my head. I have been suicidal before. So I've tried in the past to take my own life, unfortunately. But thankfully, never succeeded. It really tore me down. And I thought, nothing else can tear me down this bad. I spent the next 10 years trying to repair myself, trying to get over the situation that has happened, trying to love myself again, trying to date as well if I could, but I just couldn't. Ever since then, none of my relationships have been successful. And so, therefore, I decided to stay single. Because the words my dad called me, they just come back up. I remember about 3 to 4 years later, after this had happened, I got my first call center job. Well, actually, no. It was later than that because in 16 we were living in a house. And I still had the job in 16. So it was either 2014 or 2015 is when I started. 2015 is when I started my first call center job, because I was almost to my year in 2016 when I lost it. Yeah. Okay, so about 5 years later, when I got my first call center job, I had a very nasty lady that called in. And she called me a lot of names that my dad called me. I broke down and I could not continue. I broke down so much that the trainer I had at the time, she had to give me a personal phone call. She called me on my cell phone to check in on me and to tell me that I was okay. And I told her, I apologized to her first. And I said, I'm very sorry. I know this is unprofessional with me, but I went through a hard time. And the names that this lady called me is the names that my father called me, and I've been through that, and I can't get over it, and I was having a hard time with it. Me and this lady, me and this trainer, we connected on a similar grounds. She was also abused, and she understood where I was coming from. And I just told her, it's just hard for me right now. And she told me to take my time, and when I was ready to come back, that I can come back. If not, I can end my shift today, because of how I was mentally unprepared. Well, not unprepared, just mentally not there due to this phone call. It took me a little bit. I want to say close to 10 minutes before I was ready to get back on the phones. I bawled the entire time. Not when I got back on the phones, but that in those 10 minutes, I just bawled. It was very heartbreaking for me to go through that experience, but also very humbling in a way as well. Because in that time, I was able to tell myself, why are you crying right now? Just because of a stupid old lady calling you the same names that your dad called you? You're bawling? And I continue to tell myself, that day that this entire thing happened does not define you. It does not tell you who you are or what you're supposed to be. Just because of one stupid act that your father had done does not define you. I keep telling myself that constantly. He does not define me. He's not in my life. I haven't even talked to him since that day. By the end of 2010, I've basically had no communications with him at all. I didn't talk to him, didn't care. I still don't care. And I ended my relations with that side of the family as well. Not the same time, but later down the road, I deleted all the Lopers off of my Facebook. And yes, my dad's last name is Loper. So I deleted them all off of my Facebook. Didn't care. Didn't care at all. And pretty much since that day, I just try every single day that I can to build myself back up. It's taken a very long time for me to do this. I'm more open about talking about what has happened to me now than I was pretty much 5 years ago. I was still guarded and still crying at every single moment. It still makes me cry to this day. But this is what I go through when I'm having depression issues. I'm thinking of that day, pretty much. And May is just a horrible month for me. Even though I did have my high school graduation that year at the same time, but 2 years ago, my grandfather passed away in May. Literally a month after his birthday, he passed. So I have that as well in May. And I've been talking with my counselor about pretty much everything that's going on, and just telling her, there's things here and there. I've had weird feelings as well. just this year alone. So, I mean, I know whenever I get depressed and bad things are going on, I don't want to be around people at all. The COVID-19 didn't help it. Now we've got the riots that's going on and being scared of what's going to happen to us after everything is done. Like I said, I love you guys. I don't care what skin tone you have or skin color, whatever. You're beautiful to me. I have nothing but love for each and every one of you. Everybody that watches this, I know you guys probably won't agree with most of the things I've said in this video. But you know what? That's fine. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to sit there and be like, well, if you don't agree with us, then we don't like you. No. Why have that attitude towards people? I have nothing but an open heart to everybody, and I view, if you do something wrong to me, you and I are going to talk about it for sure. After that, we might not talk about it again, and I might not talk to you, but you and I, if we have any disagreements, we're going to talk to each other about it to settle the disagreement, because I'm not that type of person who's going to lay flat and let you walk over me again. I've had too much issues. I've had too much people telling me what I should do, telling me that I'm ugly, telling me I'm white trash, telling me that I'm stupid, telling me that I'm pretty much useless, and telling me that I basically, this is what my dad says, I'm a B all the time. I've had too many people walk over me and bring me down that I don't want that anymore. And I don't care if this gains me followers or lose me followers. You guys are entitled to your own opinions about me. If you think I'm a sick little racist white trash biatch, fine. That's who I am to you. I don't care. But what I care about is this. I care about your safety. I care about your health. I care about my own health as well and my own safety. And I'm darn tootin' to sit here and tell you to go the F away if you dare touch my little brothers. But at the same time, if I feel threatened, I don't have a problem with being threatened. As long as you don't threaten my little brothers, we're good. Threaten me all you want. I've had death threats towards me. One of my brothers probably still wants to kill me. I don't care. That's the life I live. That's not a life I want anybody else to live. I know some people have it much, much worse than what I've had. I've had it pretty rough. From the bullying, from the mental abuse or emotional abuse, whatever you want to call what my dad did to me, from the death threats I've had from my brothers. These are half brothers. And from actually trying to take my own life. You can't hurt me any more than I've already been hurt. There's nothing left to hurt anymore. There's just anger there. And I hate it. I hate having the anger. I hate having the depression. I hate having these memories. I wish they would go away. But at the same time, they are what makes me who I am. The memories I have makes me stronger. Depression, it's just a battle. That's all I think about depression now. It's just a battle. We all go through it. We all have that depression story. We all have something that has made us depressed. And granted, I've had more of my share than I can handle. And some days I want to end it all. But then I think I actually literally have stopped myself multiple times from committing suicide by one thought alone. And that thought is, what would my mom do when she found me? You see, my mom goes through depression as well. She's had depression. I was almost basically momless when I was 2 because my mom wanted to kill herself when I was that young. But she didn't because of me. So as you guys can see, depression does follow in my family. But it's not what defines me. If anything else, it has made me stronger. It has made me start caring about others and how other people go through things. And I'm so sick and tired of the hate that this world has in their hearts. There's so many bad people out there that I don't care about you. If you're bad, if you break the law, if you think raping a woman is the most thrilling thing, or killing an innocent person, or being racist to another person because of the color of their skins, I don't want anything to do with you. And by George, the one thing I have to say to you, if you're that person, karma will get you one of these days. And I'm sorry that this has turned into a race talk, a depression talk, a hatred talk. My mind has been going 90 to nothing. I've had nothing but thoughts going through my head. Even at this time, I think something's kind of messing with me because I do feel dizzy. But then again, I've only had one meal today. And that's the other thing that depression does to me. Though granted, I only eat 1 or 2 meals a day. But I don't eat as much when I get depressed. So, I mean, to me, everything that's going on now, the hatred, the riots, the looting, that needs to stop. We need to be peaceful. We need to show love and compassion and be there for one another and not sit there and challenge the police officers because we're pissed. What does that solve? Challenging the police officers where they're using tear gas on you. What does that solve? That solves nothing. Vandalizing property, looting, basically stealing. What does that solve? That doesn't solve anything. That's not going to help you either. In fact, that's going to land you in their custody if they catch you. The police officers are there to protect us. We need to remind them that they work for us. We pay them. I really, really, really think the audit system my mom and I was talking about needs to be in place. Because how else are we going to catch the crooked people? And I just want to sit here again, and I want to apologize to the Black community for the hatred that the people of my own skin color has caused you. Whatever they have done to you, I do apologize on their behalf, even though I have never done anything to you. I feel for you. I hate that you're going through this and have been going through this. And I wish things could have been a lot better. If slavery was 400 years ago, we had 400 years to get it right, to make things right. But yet this country has slid constantly and is still sliding to this day. And the one thing that I have to say against President Trump, and if you guys are Trump lovers, I'm sorry. Personally, I don't care one way or another. I don't like the whole government and voting and all that stuff. I don't care for it. Because it's just, one little opinion against thousands. But anywho, I've seen little snippets of President Trump's little talks. He called the COVID-19 a Chinese disease or Asian disease. And then the being racist towards Asians came popular. Whatever he says, good or bad, it doesn't end well. And I hate it. But, again, I didn't vote, so I don't have anything to say against him. So, all I can say is I just don't like how he words things. It does not sit well with me. Doesn't make me want to go vote the next president election. Kind of, but again, I've only voted once in my entire life, and I'm like, what's the point in this? Even though it's to say yes or no to whatever you agree upon, I don't watch the news. I don't keep track of what's going on unless my mom's watching it, and I have nothing else to listen to while the boys are up watching their cartoons. So I'm like, okay, I have no clue in who's running for president now. I have no clue what's going to be on the ballots. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I ain't going to go vote. The ballots have already been sent out, and pretty much people have already voted. I know my mom has. So, but personally, I just sit here and say, whatever to that, because that's my viewpoint. But, alright. I got a little bit done during our discussion, even though I was kind of like, blah, 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 blah. Again, I just want to say I do apologize. I know this video is probably not going to be that popular because of the topics and how crazy I was. I wasn't really staying on topic. I was going off topic a lot. And I do apologize about that, but right now, this is where my brain is at. I'm still getting over the fact of being depressed, even though it's, the 21st now of June? I mean, it takes me a while to come back from these things. I can't guarantee a Rip and Chat or Drill With Me is going to constantly come out every single week. It's probably going to come out whenever I have something to discuss that I just want to get off my chest. But I do know some of you guys have been asking what school I am going to. Well, not school I'm going to, but what my degree I am going for. And so let's talk about that real fast. And then I also will talk to you guys about how I came involved with diamond paintings as well. Let me get my next book. Okay, so this is not this term's book, but actually next term. So this Monday, the 22nd, is starting of week 8 in my current term that I'm going in right now. Excuse me, which is excuse me, sorry, which is currently JavaScript, which is basically programming. Okay, this is basically exploring typography. So it's a part of my degree. My degree is graphic design with a minor of web design. So basically, you see the crest right here. I can make that. Even though this is copyrighted, I can make this crest out of scratch if I wanted to. So that is what graphic design is. Let me get my other book. So this book now is Graphic Design Solutions. Okay, when you flip it open, everything you see on this page here has been done by a graphic designer. Okay, there is a lot of things that graphic designers can do, and that is what I'm going into. And let me see if there's anything popular here. I've read over this book a couple of times. Well, skim it really. I did good in this class, I think. I'm trying to show you some really good pictures. Okay, here's something that you guys will definitely notice. All right, Burger King. Okay, so this is the before and after their logo change. Okay, so this was the before logo. All right, it had a little bun and the Burger King there, and that was all designed by a graphic designer. Now this is the new look that you guys should be familiar with. Another graphic designer made this. So this is pretty much what my job will entail, is making these type of designs. So even the type, the font, you can make this stuff. Here's Taco Bell logo. Somebody made that. Everything you see can be made into, can be made by a graphic designer. Okay? It doesn't matter what is going on. It can be made by the graphic designer. And so that's what I'm pretty much going with. The reason why is because I love this. This is pretty much my freedom of speech. Okay? It's what I really, really love to look at. Excuse me. So this is something that I'm going to be doing later in life, and hopefully it will reflect on my channel as well. Some graphic designers can be tattoo artists, because that's kind of graphic design. Artists can be graphic designers, because that's pretty much kind of graphic design in a way. So yeah, I mean, this is stuff that I'm gonna go, work for at eventually once I, get my degree. Now, I haven't really explored this book. I'm starting to read on it, but there are some interesting topics on this, which is basically typography, which is just the type. So when you go into a Word document and you go and you try to pick out your font, that's what it's talking about in this book. That is typography. So In this one in general, what I find interesting is it breaks down the history, okay, the history of the type. So it starts off at the very, very beginning where we, got our writing from. And it starts off with, this is a Sumerian clay that was basically counting the sheeps and stuff like that. Caveman drawings. Egypt hieroglyphs. It does that. It has the papyrus that the Egypts eventually went to write things down. It has the Chinese. It has Philippine. I can't even pronounce that, but it has different things. Okay, and it even goes in to talk about the different ways. Maya, no. Sorry. It even talks about the different ways that the handwritten, the language, the alphabets, everything went through to upgrade now to what we have. And so this is the degree I'm going for. This is something I am passionate about as well. And trust me, if you start making fun of me because I like graphic design, we're going to have some words. But this is what I'm doing. This is my degree here. And this is stuff that I will eventually be able to do. Like book covers, okay? The design of a book cover. A graphic designer designed that. It wasn't just handed to the author to pick out from. Somebody designed it and gave it to the author to pick from. Okay? It wasn't pre-done. It wasn't done by a computer. It wasn't done any other way but a actual human being. So hopefully that answers you guys' questions on that one. Now to how I got into diamond art or diamond painting. I've been on here for a year on YouTube. So I would say I have 2 years of experience with diamond painting. Sorry, I'm putting up my books. I would say I have about 2 years of experience with diamond painting. And how I got into this is I actually saw an ad on Facebook, believe it or not, of companies selling diamond art. And as I was looking at them, I would say a year before I actually started to do diamond painting, I was just looking at these ads. I wasn't really considering that to do them. And that's when, like a year later, that's when I started actually seeing them pop up more and more. And I was talking to my mom about it, because I talk to my mom pretty much about everything, if not little things here and there. But I was talking to her about it, and she's like, yeah, I've seen that too. I was like, ain't this cool looking though? The idea of this. And so we just talked about it for a little bit. And then I decided to go ahead and dive in. And how I did that was basically I ordered off of one of the ads. And it took a while for it to get to me. The first thing I ordered was the twin dragon. I think that is my profile picture on here. I know it is on my Facebook business page. So that's the first thing. No, okay, I didn't order that from the ad. I actually ordered the Beauty and the Beast flower from the ad. But the first painting I completed was the dragon, the twin dragons. I got that one, I believe, off of Amazon. And I absolutely loved it. But the only thing I hated about it was the gapping. I'm like, how am I going to keep the cat hair out of it? Because I had cats. So I'm like, how am I going to get cat hair out of the in-betweens? I didn't know about sealing at the time either. And then I thought, picture frames. Not a big deal. Until I actually moved, and then I broke the picture frame it was in. But that's fine. Again, no big deal. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I never knew about Facebook having groups of people who did diamond painting, to where I can get inspiration from somebody else. And I never knew that YouTube had them either. I'm like, unboxings for diamond painting? What? Never knew this. So within the year that I was diamond painting, I found all this other stuff and I got involved with it. And for me, since I do have a bad history, it helps me relax because I get to work through problems that typically I would just basically ignore. I wouldn't work through having, like, say my mom and I had that fight one time. I wouldn't have worked through that. I would have just ignored it and gone on with my life. But diamond painting actually helps me work through problems that I have, so I can become a better person and actually entertain people in a way. So, and that's how I got involved with diamond painting. It's just by a flipping Facebook ad. That's it. So, but I mean, ever since I tried it, I loved it. I love the designs. And now with me having the education I have on graphic design, I'm pretty more pickier than I would have been if I was just a non-graphic designer. And you guys can probably tell that from my final reviews. You guys will definitely see this on Monday of my final review of Geisha, and how I just absolutely love it. There's a certain word I keep saying all the time in that video, but also I forgot to go over the excess drills with that one, and at the same time, it doesn't really matter if I go over the excess drills. It was a Diamond Art Club painting, so therefore I had excess drills from the other paintings I've done from them, and I used those, and I had plenty of spares that the bags never got open. So I'm like, what's the point on going through that, since I'm using my leftover drills at the same time as trying to use the drills that comes with the painting? So, but I mean, yeah, I have a love for diamond painting now. It's been there for me for going on 3 years now. I'm really excited on having this craft in my life. If it wasn't for this, I don't know exactly where I would be mentally, if I would still be mentally sound, able to talk to anybody about any of my problems that I have. But thankfully, with diamond painting, I have been able to overcome a lot of things and learn different aspects of myself, and actually open up and come out of my shell and be the person I am today, even though sometimes I come off sounding like the most horrible person. But I have nothing but love in my heart for everybody. So, and that's what I have to be thankful for diamond painting, because otherwise I would probably be building a lot of hatred, and that's not ever good. So, All right, I think I've talked to you guys enough um, about what's going on in my life and my viewpoints of what's going on currently with the whole movement that's going on. Um, Again, this was not meant to upset anybody. If I did upset people, please know that I did not mean to upset you. I understand that there's a lot of things that's going on. I might not have the entire facts of what's going on, but I understand that this is a very tough subject to talk about, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I want you to know, no matter what skin color you have, you are loved by this person here, regardless of anything that's going on. Especially, I mean, I've said this before, I don't care if you are lesbian, gay, straight, bi, white, black, Indian, Mexican, Christian, or Buddhist, or a Jew. I don't care your race, your religion, your beliefs, who you love, who you choose to be with. I have nothing but love for you because that is what you deserve, and you deserve pretty much everything that you want. I personally have, big dreams of my own. I want a bigger house than the 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath that we have, with the bonus room of being the garage. I want a bigger house than that. I want to get 2 more kids, to be my kids. I have a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams. And I know everybody who's sitting here watching this and probably drilling along as I'm doing nothing now, I know you guys have a lot of hopes and dreams. And I do hope they come true for you, even though the road ahead is probably going to be challenging. So, without a further ado, I am actually going to log off now or stop recording. Currently, where I'm sitting at is very freezing, and I need to go warm up and probably even go to bed as well. So, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see more videos like this, go ahead, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider to subscribe to my channel. Also, please, in the comments below, no hatred whatsoever. Please keep it nice and peaceful. You guys are more than welcome to say you disagree or you agree with whatever I have to say, but please make sure it's peaceful and not disrespectful. And by disrespectful, I'm gonna look for, well, you're stupid, or anything in that general line. And also, if anybody is commenting on this video and you do not agree with them, please treat them with respect on saying you agree or disagree and the reason why. No hatred, please. Okay? I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one and be nice to each other. Bye.